Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know that a lot of you have an RO system, reverse osmosis system, under your sink. And on this video, I'm going to show you a very easy and cheap way to extend the life of your RO system's filters. We know that these filters can sometimes be a little bit pricey. Although the system that I have, the Q3600 from SIMPURE, the filters I believe are a pretty good price. I think they're like 69 bucks for the set. And I know from personal experience that those filters for me last me well over a year because they're rated for like, I think it's 300 or 400 gallons a day, and they recommend that you replace them every 6 months. Who goes through 400 or 300 gallons of reverse osmosis water a day? Not very many people, at least no one that I know of. But if you use this right here, if you install an inline water filter like the ones that you use for your refrigerators or for the ice maker, this is going to take out those big particulates. It's going to take out the chlorine before it even gets to your RO system, extending the life of the filters. And one of these, you can find these for like less than 10 bucks. And let me show you how I'm going to install this because it's extremely easy. If you put in your own RO system, I'm telling you, this is like maybe a 5-minute job. After I show you how to do this, I'm going to show you something that you always should have under your sink, be it a kitchen sink or be it your bathroom vanity sink. It's something that will save you a lot of money, and it only costs a couple of bucks for you to get. So before we start, let me show you everything that you're going to need. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is very simple. You're going to need a piece of tubing, 1/4 inch. I just went ahead and cut off some of the excess of the 1/4 inch tubing that came with my RO system. Of course, you're going to need your water filter. You're going to need a couple of these zip ties, pair of scissors, and you're going to need a couple of these couplings because the water filter is 1/4 inch inlet and outlet. However, the tubing that goes from the feed line to my RO system is 3/8 of an inch. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut that tubing, apply it to this 3/8 of an inch, and then I'm going to have 1/4 inch going into the filter. Very simple. And that's all you're going to need. Tomorrow, on Thursday, Thanksgiving, I'm going to have a live stream so that I can hang out with those of you that maybe don't have anyone to hang out with. And during that live stream, I'm going to be giving away 5 prizes that OUPES sent me to give away to you all. So I hope to see you there. So the first thing you want to do before you start any of this, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's elementary, but make sure that you turn off your water. And then you want to find a place where you're going to put your pre-water filter, you can call it. You put it right here or here, wherever it'll secure pretty well. With those zip ties, it should be just fine. And then once I secure it, I'll go ahead and cut my 3/8 inch inlet line right here at the appropriate spot that will make it easiest to go ahead and connect the 1/4 inch to the filter. And now that I went ahead and cut my inlet line, all we have to do now is take one of these couplings, fit it in there, and then always make sure to put one of these little gadgets on it. I don't know what their name is. I guess they're called holders or something. And make sure that it won't slip by mistake and your line won't come off. Now that's not going to come off of there. So I'm going to do that to this side, and I'm going to do it to this one right here. So I'm going to go ahead and place this right here. It'll give me an estimation, knowing where I'm going to place it, knowing how long of a 1/4 inch line I'm going to need from here to here. And I know that this one right here I'll be able to place right next to it with no problem, so I'm not going to need a lot of 1/4 inch for that. And yes, I'm using the 1/4 inch that came with the RO system. This is the drain line or the waste line, but ladies and gentlemen, it's not dirty. So I'm going to cut myself probably a small piece like this right here to put on the end of where the inflow is going to be going on this end right here. Very simple, ladies and gentlemen. This is not rocket science, and it's going to save you from having to replace those filters so quickly. And it's literally a 5-minute job. There you go. That one's on. So now this one's going to be ready to go in here. But let's go ahead and take care of the other side. Now that side is done, and once you have everything connected, you can go ahead and tidy up these tubes with some zip ties as well. Now all that we have left to do is put our filter right here. This is where I'm going to put it. Make sure that it's going in the right direction. So you want to put your inline right here on this side, and it's going to flow out this way. So this is the direction in which you want to hook up the part that's going right to your RO system. And as you can see, ladies and gentlemen, it's on there nice and sturdy. And I did have to double up on the zip ties because I didn't take into account the diameter of this pipe as well. I just figured, oh, it'll fit around this. This one is enough. But no, I needed to do two. But you can see there that it's nice and sturdy. The inlet is nice and sturdy. Now all we have to do is connect this one right here. Make sure that we have clips everywhere, there and there. Got there and there. We got it in the inlet. I didn't disconnect anything over there. And now all we have to do is turn on the flow to our water. And like I said, if you want to go ahead and tidy these tubes up, you can. I'm going to go ahead and tidy this one up right here, just so it won't be hanging. But I don't mind that there's tubes like this inside of this cabinet because I really don't put a lot of stuff in there. I like to keep it pretty clear. That way, in case there's some kind of a leak or something I have to work on, I can get to it quickly. Now, let's say you don't want to go through the trouble of doing what I just did in order to extend the life of my RO filters. At least get these, because these will save you a lot of grief. And what are they? They are water sensor leak detectors. And I'm going to show you how they work really quick because it's pretty much plug and play. You don't have to worry about setting anything up. So what this is this is a little water detector that you place wherever you want to make sure that if there's a leak, you'll know about it. And if there is a leak, this will detect it and it will sound off an alarm. I'm going to test it right now. That way you can hear it. So cover your ears if you're sensitive to sound, I guess. You hear that? So if you ever hear that sound after you place it, you know that there's some kind of moisture there and it needs to be investigated. How does it work? Very easy. It has these 4 little sensors. This is where I place mine under the sink, around the middle, you know, just in case there's any water from any direction. It usually works its way to the middle. But if it does detect any moisture at all, even if the humidity in there gets really, really high, it will detect that moisture and let you know. So I grabbed this plate, I put a little bit of water in it. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but I'll go ahead and sacrifice a piece of a towel. That way you can see that it's wet. See that? So very easy. And this right here can be a lifesaver because one of the things that I've always said, being a homeowner for a long time, is that water is the worst enemy of a house. Because if you have a leak somewhere and you don't know about it, man, by the time you find out, it's going to cost you a heck of a lot more than a couple of bucks. Alright, so just to make sure that that filter was well primed, and you know, they always tell you to run a couple of gallons through a new filter and such. I've been running this for a while, and if you all remember, the last time that I did a video measuring the ppms on this Q3 that I have installed down there, I was averaging between 3 and 4 ppm. I don't think this is going to make a big difference. It's just going to help to expand or extend the life of your RO filters. But let's see, I'm just curious. So here's on ppm, is at 0, and I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I hold it. I'll see if you guys can see it. And I'm going to make sure that I put it on hold so you can see it in case you can't see it from that far away. It's on hold. And look at that, ladies and gentlemen. Just by it bringing the ppm down by 1 or 2, to me it's worth it. And it tells me that it is going to extend the life of my RO filters. So OUPES decided to send me a little emergency box, and they asked me if I wanted to get some of these away. And I said, absolutely, how many can I give away? And they actually gave me more than 5, but I'm going to be giving 5 of these away during our live stream tomorrow on Thanksgiving. And what they told me is that it's a little emergency box. Oh, I see that there's a multi-tool in there. That's going to be nice. So let's go ahead and open up our first box. Let's see what's in here. Oh, nice. A compass. That's actually very nice to have. A nice little compass. All right, now you'll know what it is that you're going to be entering for during tomorrow's live stream. An emergency blanket, always nice to have one of these. Always keep one of these in your vehicle. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I actually like this little case more than I like the whistle. But it's got a whistle with a lanyard as well. Let's see, we already know what that is. Oh, look at this. A little water filter. It's kind of like a mini Sawyer. Let me see, is it a mini Sawyer or is it like a mini Sawyer? You know how things are nowadays. Everything is reproduced, back engineered. A water filter, okay, it's like a little mini Sawyer. Medical grade filtration material. And it says that it removes 99.999 of bacteria and 99% of protozoa. All right, so it's like a little mini Sawyer. It comes with a bag, with a little clip. Sweet. Nothing wrong with that. Let me throw these stuff down here. Let's see what this is. This looks like it might be a little bag or something to put everything in, which if it is, that would be nice. And you know, most people, when they take these out, like myself, I'll more than likely never put it back in there. Okay, sweet. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, not too bad. Well, since we already know what this is, let's take it out and check it and see what it looks like. It is a multi-functional outdoor tool. Nice little sheath. This actually looks like it's pretty cool to have. Little hammer. The reason I say it's pretty cool to have is because I remember when I used to have to do water runs with my old truck. In the wintertime, ice would build up in the back bumper, and I had a little hammer in the truck that I used to hammer the ice off with. So everything in this little box is what's going to be given away tomorrow, because I'm giving it away by the box. All right, so there's going to be 5 of this whole thing. Oh, I already know what this is. There's a little camping stove set. These are very nice. And they're very cheap, ladies and gentlemen, meaning as far as how much you have to pay for them. You can pick these up on Amazon for 19, 20 bucks. But there's a lot of value here. So you got a bowl or a lid, or both. Okay, let's get the guts. Then you've got your cooking pot. You've got the little stand here for your butane canister. Let me get this out of the way so I can get it off my hands. She's got a little scrub pad, which is nice to have, I have to say that. And look at that, this one even comes with a cup. I've never purchased one of these that had a cup in it. What's this? Yep. And this, like I said, everyone ought to have this. This is a great prepping on the cheap item. Because this little set right here, depending on what you get and what it comes with it, you're looking at 20 bucks, you know, maybe 25 bucks at the most. It comes with a little stove. And these little butane stoves over the years, I've come to realize that they're very good. They actually do the job. Right? And you can get an adapter for these that will fit on a 1-pound propane if you want. So I really like these little butane stoves for prepping on the cheap, because look at how compact they are and they actually work. What else do we have here? Well, I guess if you're getting a little bit of wine, if you're doing a little bit of wine during the end of the world, you have a corkscrew here that you can open your bottle of wine with. Let's see what else. I think this is the last. Oh no, we still got 2 more boxes. What's this? Oh, a silverware set. Can't beat that. You got a knife, spoon, and fork. Man, so far this little box is coming with a lot of stuff. Oh, what do we got here? One of my favorite things. Can you all guess what's one of my favorite things that I'm addicted to? Now, this is just a cheap little lantern, but hey, can't complain, because when you need light and you have it, oh, look at that. It comes with magnets. So you can put it up somewhere. Anyways, like I was saying, when you need light and you don't have it, man, you would do anything to have some kind of light. So very cool. It also acts as a little flashlight and an emergency light. All right, I like it. And the last thing right here, this is pretty heavy. I have no idea what it is. Oh, this is nice. Look at that. How much is there in there? It doesn't say. Look at all this 550 core, ladies and gentlemen. Let me see, is it full? Oh yeah, it goes all the way up to here. This, in my opinion, if I had to pick one thing out of all of this that I like the most, is this. Especially because right now I've been needing some, but I don't want to buy any more. So yeah, absolutely. So let's see if all of this stuff will fit in the bag. Hey, not too bad. You take this, you throw it in the back of your car, you maybe put in some freeze-dried food in here, you got plenty more room, and you should be good to go. In addition to some fire-starting material, etc. You all know what to put in there, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been watching me for a while now. But you'll be good to go. So let me say thank you ahead of time to OUPES for hooking us up. And again, if you all want to join in tomorrow, I can understand if you don't. Right? Tomorrow's Thanksgiving. It's time for family and friends to get together and overeat and all that kind of stuff, right? So I can understand if you don't. But if you ain't got nobody to spend Thanksgiving with and you want to hang out with me for an hour or two, I'll be going live tomorrow and I'll let you know via a community post earlier in the day. I hope you have a great rest of your day. God bless every one of you. I love you all. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.